My name's Chelsea Moslin. I am the clinic manager down here at the Wyoming Community Health Center. I'm excited to kind of show you guys what a day in the life of a rural nurse means and is all about. Bignell is located in southern central Utah. We have a population of about 200 to 300 people. We have the mountain in my backyard, and we get to take full advantage of that on our day off or after work one night. We can head out on the mountain and go fishing and spend the afternoon with the family. And I think that that's important for anyone, is to find things that they love, but living in such a beautiful area and being able to do that on a moment's notice, it's pretty dang fantastic. And we don't have traffic. The kids can play in the road and we don't worry about them. I was born and raised in Richfield, which is just over the mountain, another rural town in Utah, and met my husband, and he lived here. And I don't know if you guys know about boys that live in rural Utah, that it's hard to get them out of these places. So we moved here, and it's amazing. It's unlike anywhere I've ever been. We love the people that are in our community. So as far as work goes, as far as medicine goes, I think for urban nurses, it would be really surprising to understand exactly everything that you get to do in rural nursing in a clinic like this. In the city, you're generally just at one area. You're in the ICU, or you're in the ER, or you're on med-surg floor. Where here we get to be able to do a lot of things, a wide variety of items that's not just stuck on one thing. We really do work at the top of our licensure, and we have a full functioning lab. We dispense prescriptions out of the after-hours pharmacy on Saturdays and after hours. We have the dental office. Then we have our medical clinics, mental health. We bring in vision, we bring in orthopedics, we bring in chronic pain management, obstetrics. We have nurse midwives that come over, and then we do our primary care stuff as well. It's not unusual for patients to come here for their well women, and we're bouncing their baby while we're working. So, it's just kind of how it works around here. There's not a typical day in rural nursing. You never quite know what's coming. So we'll often have a day where we see an OB in the morning, and then we're walking somebody through the end stages of their life next, and then maybe a baby, and then maybe a code. I run on the ambulance on Mondays. I spend time in my community, where in city settings you probably wouldn't get a lot of that. Not very often do you go from the clinic to the ambulance to flying a patient out. So it's very dynamic. In rural healthcare, we see a wide variety of things. We live right on the rim of a national park, and so we see car accidents or falls, as well as our locals, medical emergencies. Our closest hospital is about an hour away, and so we really have to rely on our staff here at the clinic to be able to take care of patients and stabilize them until we can get them to definitive care. We currently own 4 different medical locations, one in Salina, one in Hanksville here at the Bignell Clinic, and then one in Escalante. Hanksville is about an hour away, and if anyone's ever been to Hanksville, they know that it's a whole different world down there than anywhere else in Utah. There's not a lot of resources for patients down there. We go down there once a week, but we're often helping patients get arrangements for rides. We've had patients who don't have heat in their home or running water that we've had to help beyond just the medical side of things. Thank goodness for some of our support here at the clinic that we're able to do that. So it's extremely rewarding to be a nurse in rural healthcare, because you are treating people you know and you love, but then you're also changing people's lives that you probably will never see again. Tourists that have been here. I have a lady from Germany who I still keep in contact with, who had an open fracture to her ankle, and we talk on a regular basis. We've built those relationships with patients. It's not unusual for us to treat our grandparents or our husbands or our in-laws. We also will see someone in the clinic, and then later that day, we see them at the grocery store, and it's a whole different dynamic at the grocery store versus the clinic. And so we do really develop relationships with our patients on an intimate level, to the point where you even go do things sometimes, and then you see them in the clinic the next day. These are people that we know and love. So in rural healthcare, because of how small we are, we really work with our family. They're not legitimately my family, but that's how I feel about the people that I work with here at the clinic. They're the people that I truly love and would do anything for. They dedicate their heart and soul to this place and to the patients that we serve. We've had staff drive patients to their appointment. We've had staff deliver food to people when they're sick. We've had staff go to their home and evaluate them, although they know that we're not able to get reimbursed for that. So they really do put their heart and soul into the patient and into the care that they provide here at the clinic. In rural healthcare, we have a lot of autonomy. We're very limited in our resources, and so that allows us to be independent in how we make decisions. Our providers give us a lot of freedom to work with their patients and understand their patients and come to them when we know something's not quite right, like we do in chronic care management or transitional care management, and see patients. We're kind of their eyes and ears of the providers when they're not available, because they're so busy taking care of other things that the nurses really have to step up and be able to independently judge what's going to be best for that patient, and then make sure that the provider's looped in on that. So it used to be that nurse encounters weren't billable, and now we've understood ways to bill for nursing encounters. Chronic care management is one way. In clinic settings like ours, in community health centers, it's a little bit different than other independent facilities, but you can bill out for the time that you spend with your patients non-face-to-face, and that's pretty rewarding to have a type of an encounter that Medicare recognizes and is reimbursing the clinic for. I hope that eventually someday we can get to where Medicare will recognize for all nurse visit types, when patients come in for an annual wellness visit, that the nurses can do those completely independently without having to consult with a provider, because they really are within our licensure. Right now we have to consult with a provider in order to bill for them, but eventually, hopefully Medicare will recognize that and let us do those independently. I went from being an MA EMT to RN and now on to a DMP. And I really feel like my community and the staff that I work with are cheering for me and encouraging me to go on and encouraging me to work really hard and achieve my goals. And that's so important. I think it's great when you have that many people rooting for you. The community is really a community. They say it takes a village to raise children, and we have that here. What would I tell somebody who was moving here? You're gonna love it. It's the best.